I've got a new 40-acre property I want to roll out with you today. My name is McLaughlin here at Wilco Land. In this video, I'm going to cover access to this property. That's going to be a big conversation in this land video. I'm going to talk about who the target audience is, why people buy properties like this, and a little bit more about our company and what we do. So I'm going to pull up maps, satellite imagery, all that good stuff, and try to teach you about this property all from the comfort of your home. So sit back and relax for a couple minutes. I'll jump right into this. So, starting off with a quick disclaimer, going through some of these photos, this is not legal advice. It's not real estate advice. I'm simply sharing my thoughts and opinions on this property here with you today through my own due diligence and my 10 plus years of experience in the industry. So let's get started here looking at the location, then we're gonna dive into access in this property. So in terms of a location, we're north of Duluth, Minnesota up here. We're talking about 40 acres in the Northwoods. Here's Hoyt Lakes, here's Virginia, here's Babbitt, Minnesota. So that gives you kind of a bird's eye view of where we're at, okay? The target audience for a property like this is going to be people looking for a secluded, off-grid, recreational property, right? That's first and foremost. People are looking to go camping. They're looking to go hunting. They're looking to a place they can bushwhack into and have the ultimate privacy on their own piece of land, right? For hunting, camping, yurts, tree forts, things like that. That's a big reason why people buy these properties. The second biggest reason is price. I mean, where else are you going to find 40 acres at this price point with a company willing to work with you on that? So that's what we specialize in. We move land pretty fast. We're in the business of wholesaling properties essentially and trying to create visibility and some education around really unique land investments like this. So that's another reason. The third reason is that there's people that really believe in the long-term value of land and believe the world's going to look extremely different in 10, 20, 50 years. Maybe the government wants to buy this property. Maybe, some bigwig comes in and offers on all this land, and maybe there's flying cars, and you can fly right into this property, and the value is exponentially higher, right, due to that access. So those are all reasons why people buy properties like this. So let's now start talking about access, and this is what I'm going to end the video on. So access to this property is hiking in over public land. So you have the option to hike into this property, and I'm going to show you a couple potential hike-in access sites. And the other way you could access this property is via the Partridge River. So you can hop on the Partridge River. You can canoe into this property. I think that would be kind of cool, to be honest with you. But let's zoom in and look exactly what we're looking at here in terms of a piece of property. So all I'm going to do is plug these GPS coordinates from our website. Inside of our listing, you can actually see the GPS coordinates. We share all the information in the listing here. You can see that all right here. I've got the GPS coordinates right down here. So you can plug these right into Onyx Maps. That's going to be my favorite app to use for land viewings. And here's where the property is located right here. Okay. So, talking about that, the first and most obvious access route is going to be the Partridge River right here. You can actually, there's multiple access sites for the Partridge River, and you can get within, if you were to get off the river right here, you're within 338 yards from the river, going down Partridge River to get to the property. This is a satellite imagery. There's a lot of high ground on the property, and you can see there's some big wetland features too, which could bring in wildlife. That adds a little bit of, uniqueness to your land investment, but you've got a lot of high ground right here too. So again, like I said, a lot of our buyers for properties like this are seeing an opportunity for a cheap place, pitch some tents. You're going to hike into this property. You're going to take the Partridge River there potentially. You're going to set up tree forts, yurts, things like that. But you've got this little private oasis up here in the Northwoods for a really affordable price. So number one, Partridge River, there's places to access this off public roads. You just have to get on Onyx Maps and follow the river, and kind of just follow the river and see where you want to access it. You know what I mean? So it keeps going on all the way from up here. I don't know if this flows north and south or how the Partridge River flows, but if you were coming down here, it connects right here really well. The Partridge River does. This would be, what road is this? I don't see a name on it, but right around Allen, Minnesota, the Partridge River connects here. This is probably the way I'd go. I can't imagine it's a fast-flowing river nonetheless, but I would hop on the Partridge River maybe right there. Maybe using Forest Service Road 123 would be another route to get on the Partridge River. The other potential access route, let's get back to our basis, get back to the property here, is down here to the southeast. Is what's called Headwaters Road. This is Forest Service Road 113. This is a very clear-cut way to access a property, in my opinion. Again, this is just my opinion, but you'd hop on Headwaters Road, essentially. It's got a name. It's Forest Service Road 113. At some point, you're going to pull your car over, probably up here, right around this neck of the woods on Headwaters Road. And let's, here's our property right here. Here's Headwaters Road. Let's take a peek at the distance over to our property from Headwaters. So you're about a 2.7 mile hike in from Headwaters Road. I think that's a really strong access point. The other place you could potentially access a property is down here by Hoyt Lakes. So down here from the southwest, you can see all this is Superior National Forest. You could essentially hike in. This looks like a longer hike from down south. The last place, and I can't guarantee this at the sale, is there's this mining road right here. And I believe you need an easement to use it. I don't know if it's gated. I don't know if it's locked. I don't know how strict they are about enforcing that. But this road to the north of the property, basically, it's a really nice mining road. And that gets you really close to the property. You can come in through state land right here. Check this out. I mean, you're 900 yards away. So, if that route's legitimate, if you work with the mining company on an easement, however that looks, that's something I can't guarantee. It's something that you probably won't know at the time of the purchase or the sale. So, that's something to keep in mind. That's something, like I said, you're going to have to dive into, and it's probably going to take time to figure out. These are big mining companies. They're not easy to get in touch with. So, and maybe that road's open the rest of your life and you never run into a problem. I don't know, but, I can't recommend using it. I just wanted to point it out that it's there. I do think the best access route is going to be on Forest Service Road 113 here, stopping right about here, and you get about a 2.5 mile hike in to the property over Superior National Forest. And you can see that right here. So about 2.7 miles. So again, we talked about the target audience. We talked about access to the property, topography, satellite imagery. You can learn a lot about the property. The majority of it's high ground over here on the eastern side and the northwest side. You've got a unique wetland feature coming through it. You've got the Partridge River outside of you. You're surrounded by state land. It's going to offer a ton of privacy, cool place to camp and hunt, and a really unique long-term land investment. So just get with our team if you have any questions. I do have other listings online. You can reach us here at 605-299-5553. Hopefully this video was helpful in understanding what this land investment really is. Thanks for tuning in.